Good evening, ladies and gents. This is Nerds the Human, and welcome back to a Medieval 2 American Rebels campaign. And you join us outside of Hoxtopec, where, of course, our army is just about holding on to enough infantry to take on the next city. If you recall, last time we did lose a huge amount of our infantrymen, but we still have plenty of reinforcements and just about enough to take on the next city. It does look awfully like there are no more armies out in the field, so I think we're pretty close to finishing these lads off. I'm just a little bit concerned about, yes, if I take one step, let's just grab one of these lads. In this direction, there's a full stack army over there, so do need to be careful. There might well be more Aztecs around than we know, so yes, I'm going to make sure this army comes to join us before we push too far on. Certainly we've seen lots of armies in this part of the map. Now, talking about this area over here, we do of course need to take these guys on. We'll get into battle there in a moment. Just to refresh you, in case you don't remember, the French are waffling on around Alabama, and we've got, well, plenty and plenty around here to make sure we keep them busy. Indeed, plenty of men over in this part of the world as well. So yes, I suspect the French are well under control. As for the English, well, they're due to arrive here any time now. We're actually on the same turn when we left off last time, so there isn't really much else to report. But I think before we move on, I think we'll just head into these guys over here. Be good to get one more city under siege and potentially just make sure there's some reinforcements. We might need to send some of these lads up here to deal with those extra armies if they are indeed a problem, especially as we don't have a huge amount of generals. We have some Spanish lads over here, but our Spanish towns don't give us any troops. So in some ways, the Spanish rebellion to the anarchy isn't the most helpful thing in the world, unless of course I flip them back, but culture is a strange old mistress on this game. And of course, yes, we have this town under siege here, but between the full stack and, well, not the greatest army in the world, we'll have to see how that one goes. But let's head into battle over here to start off with. Quite a big one really, because once we take out these guys, it should be simple enough. We of course have the prince himself with a huge pile of men to take us down. He's a drill master. He is prim as well. That doesn't actually matter for this, but it is quite a nice trait actually. But alas, he will have to go down. Let's take these lads out, and I definitely want the AI to be controlling this army. Well, in we go then, and things are not quite as good as I was hoping. Huge cliff, but luckily they are, in spite of me being the one who's attacking, they are coming down to me, so I suppose I can at least count my blessings for that. Although, there is a slight hill here. In fact, I say slight hill, it actually does bend down quite a lot over here, so I should really get myself to the very top of the edge of this little hill here, and hopefully we can take them out. There are a huge amount of trash units in this army as well, so with any luck we can break them fairly simply, he says. But these lads are coming from the edge of the map, so are mine, so hopefully we'll at least get both reinforcement armies in at once. Of course, my reinforcements are much much more significant. Sorry, my main army is much more significant. Their reinforcements much more significant than ours. So we need to win this first bit of the battle really handily, just to make sure that we're in as good a position as possible when it comes to the main bout later. So are they going to keep moving forward, or are we going to have to charge? No, they're in position. They're going to come for me. Good news indeed. And I have lots and lots of archers shooting them down, so I don't mind a little bit of time whilst they're wandering their way around the cliff. Oh, this works very, very nicely indeed. They are just standing there getting shot. They don't know what to do. They know we're too strong to actually take us on here, and they're not going to charge at us. So we'll just plod along, keep moving, keep on moving forward, my good sirs. The others should appear from over on that cliff over there, so we've got plenty of time. They need to work a long way around, and to be honest, probably worm my way around the side of the cliff at this point. That's probably a much better idea. Quite what their formation is now, I don't really know, but it looks like they might finally actually come in for a charge. So in we go. Let's take on these lads, and maybe we'll get a break or two before too long. Go into chart mode. You don't have a chart mode, you're just a little bit of a special lad. That's fine by me. Get into battle, and yeah, we'll hopefully soon have these lads dealt with. There we go. Got a route on this side of the battlefield. Clear them out. You lads head into there. The unpronounceable lads into that position. Charge in some more of our warriors. And hopefully we'll break these guys before too long. Reinforcements are very close to arriving. That's very good news indeed. With the general down then, that should be pretty much this whole army, apart from these madmen, just about dealt with. Now, there are a few of them swinging back, and I noticed they've started moving this way. Hopefully they'll come down the central path. If they don't, I'm going to have to vacate this hill, because I really don't want them to be attacking me from a high position. We'll just see how it goes. My reinforcements are at least getting here now. We'll put them on a shootout stance in good time, because they're going to arrive. Yeah, I really don't want them going anywhere further. So let's get ourselves ready for these reinforcements whenever they do arrive. Put them onto defensive stance. Be interested to see how they actually behave here. I don't want them to press forward, but they might do in spite of me setting it on that. As I said before, I think this is from the Lucium Total War mod. And I've kind of kept it on because I quite like it. It's nice to control the reinforcements to some extent. Unfortunately, yeah, they are moving forward in spite of the defensive stance. Generally speaking, they're fairly sensible with it. I would assume that would convince them to maybe stay with me on the hill, but maybe they'll just keep their distance from this kind of position as well. If they're going to climb down that side of the hill, I should probably just shift across. Yeah, let's just shift across over here. Nice and quick, lads. Nice and quick. Get yourselves around here. Shoot out, please. Shoot out for the reinforcements, because we are... Can we all run? Yeah, they're the spear throwers. They're nothing too much to worry about, but they could be problematic. So maybe we'll just send a couple of these lads down there. Go and clear them out before the rest of the reinforcements arrive. They're not too far away, so we need to be a little bit careful. We don't want to be too tired. We're only warmed up right now, so nothing too much to worry about. We'll just make sure that, make sure that we keep them pinned, not in the fight. And that is a couple breaks. That's the third break, and probably a fourth break very, very soon. Get them back into position at this point. Marvellous stuff. Some Mega Warriors just get themselves caught out as they pull back into the position I want them, but at the very least, my reinforcements. Shootout stance, they're down the bottom of the hill, but at least it's a flanking of sorts. This would probably, though, lads, be a little bit better as flanking goes. But I'm fairly happy with all of this. Let's have the Dog Warriors just shooting in. Oh, you can't hit the bodyguard, that's a surprise. Some of you can hit that bodyguard, so some of you focus on him. That will be marvellous. The high advantage should do some lovely, lovely work now. And yeah, there's not a lot of good units here, so we should be absolutely fine for a charge at this point. Get everyone to start smashing into the enemy. Let's get everyone forward now. Hit them with all we got. Smash T, smash T, smash T. Don't even need to put the general lads here, the Aztec, native warriors even, onto the old stupid standing guard mode thing, because actually they might bother actually fighting today. Lovely stuff. So let's grab the men that are over this side, all head over there. Hopefully we'll cut anyone off if that's indeed where we are. It's complete chaos everywhere, but I'm pretty certain the general's about to go down. There's 27, Thomas. Okay, maybe he's not about to go down, but anyway, it's only pretty much him left in the fight at this point, so hopefully he'll be cleared off before too long. The reinforcements have him pinned in position over there. We've got them largely breaking, which is marvellous. I just want to try and get someone in this part of the world to get on top of any of them. Let's get my general back into the battle. That sounds ideal. And what is the rest of this doing? He's fighting to the death, the bodyguard. There we go, he runs before our warriors might. Just him left. I think he'll most likely go down, you'd think, in the maelstrom of all of these bodyguards. Bodyguards, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. In the maelstrom of no more bodyguards. Oh dear. If we let him get away, I'm going to be absolutely apoplectic, lads. There we go. Someone hit him right on the target on his back. What a foolish design there. Okay, battle is pretty much as good as won at this point, isn't it? They're probably knackered because they've had to climb all the way along the mountain. Probably pretty tiring for us as well, but some of us might be a bit less exhausted. I don't really know. We'll see how all of that nonsense goes. There's still actually one or two of them fighting in odd occasions, so yeah, let's just pop them up. And the second general went down. Victory is immediately granted to us as a result of that. That's absolutely marvellous. And we can try and clear out whatever is left. But units are terrible at chasing things down on Medieval 2. and especially when we're infantry only. But hey ho, it is what it is. The victory is pretty much ours, and near enough 80% killed. I cannot be bothered with this anymore. Let's just end the battle. Officially a heroic victory. I'm pretty impressed at how efficiently that was done, actually. I thought there'd be a lot more of a bloodbath for us, but a big victory. And with that, the city is, well, looking fairly empty by this point. Can we put that under siege? Indeed we can. We're kind of stuck in its area of effect anyway, so I suppose we will do that. As for the reinforcements, well, I guess we'll just leave them surrounding the army just to make sure any assault at us from any potential reinforcements doesn't get in our way. So those Arab warriors just have a bit of a scout. We'll see if we can spot anyone in the distance. But I think essentially it's time to end our turn. As we thought might happen, they are going to sally forth at us, and we haven't seen this very much in this campaign, or at least not for a while. So, as we say, a full stack here, and whilst they are not the strongest, we are not either, although we've got a fair few generals, but aside from that, just 2 units of Jaguar warriors, so we need to be a little bit careful, but we should be okay. It's a fairly even bout, and yeah, just stay away from the walls, I suppose. Let's head in. We're going to keep this nice and simple. We pulled back from the walls. We've got one straight line of infantry, some archers in behind, and honestly, we'll just throw ourselves at them and see how it goes. In we go, and hopefully that will be some of them brutally murdered. Let's head in, you into there, you into there, you into there, and try and get one of them around the side. If at all possible. It looks like we've already got breaks, which is absolutely marvellous, because that will mean that we'll start to flank them as well. That's a surprisingly positive start. You lads head into there. One of you perhaps head into their flank, if at all possible. The guy around the side has not really achieved much, because basically the other lads already have claimed victory. And there's peasants over there. Isn't that just marvellous? This is supposed to be a lot tougher than this, but apparently we are absolutely slaughtering them. Isn't that just lovely? Isn't that just marvellous? Just chase them all down, just run into the city, I guess. Not quite what I was expecting, but we'll take it. We'll take it, and yeah, we are already in the city. That's us. That's some of the native warriors pushing in. First men into the city. They've just ignored those spearmen over there. Okay, on top of them, just pile in, see what happens. All infantry then at this point just running into the city. We'll just shoot these lads down since they're mad enough to still be here. And dead they go. Oh, they're not quite dead yet. I guess we'll just shoot them in the back, I suppose, but interesting. Nonetheless, the infantry are piling through the gate at this point. They have somewhat regained some of their stability, but I guess we'll just charge forward. There we go. The archers have hacked down the enemy general. It's a nice place to be. Somewhere around here is a plaza, so I guess we'll just run to the plaza, shall we? Let's just go to the plaza. Yeah, sod the rest of this nonsense. Let's not get ourselves stuck at the wall. Let's just run off to the plaza. Some of us picking different directions. That's quite efficient, lads, I suppose. We'll mop up more of their troops on the way. Of course, once on the plaza, we can't do a lot other than just hack them down, but indeed that is what we're doing. So hack is how we will get on with it. We'll just take on those guys outside the plaza. That's good. Pretty much hacked all of them down. And there's the victory. That was, again, worked better than I expected. And I think at this point... yeah, at this point I've just learned how to win the battles. We really know how to use these infantry armies now. It's just, well, this wasn't particularly... okay, that was a pretty heroic result, but it certainly wasn't heroic in any sort of tactical sense. They just did not do that very sensibly at all, did they? No, they did not. I was not going to attack anytime soon. I would have just sieged them out for a long time, but we'll take that. We'll certainly take that. Ah, yes, Desacentos the Raffle is one more glorious man. You wouldn't want to mess with him. And of course, we will sack the city. And we have ourselves an ambush. Sadly, we failed. I would have loved to put an ambush on these lads. But I guess we'll take the opportunity to take out an army. There are 2 armies there. This is, again, leaderless, but lots of experience. Fair few with a bit of damage. Nothing really too strong. I feel like a lot of the really good armies have already been whittled down. This is a strange force, by the way. A few generals, once again, a few Jaguars, I really should organise the order here. Some spear throwers, some of our archers, but a few crossbow militia as well, which is nice. Haven't seen many of those so far in this campaign. I don't think we used them in battle anyway. So let's head in. Let's take up this army. Obviously, we have huge missile superiority, so the longer it takes them to bother attacking us, the better. Of course, one of the main tactics we've seen during this whole campaign is just how aggressive the AI are on this. I should probably have a little look in the files, actually, see if there's any particular reason that AI is so aggressive. It might just be something to do with the unit balancing with these particular factions, but they certainly always seem to be pretty darn aggressive in battle. Spear throwers coming in to me, just get my spearmen into them. They'll probably break anyway from the archers, but just keep them from doing their filthy work. I think I'll be fairly happy with that. These guys are fairly expendable, so who cares if we shoot them in the back. There we go. Keep pushing them away. If we keep pushing them away, I'm quite happy to just keep shooting them down. All of my crossbows and all of my archers. Eventually, we are getting a little bit too close. So you should probably run away at this point, or you should just keep running into them. I don't really mind. And only my spearmen have managed to get themselves routed. You're only supposed to poke them and make them run away, but no, they've managed to mark it up. Come on, pull out of there, you silly fools. Anyway, we'll potentially start pressing forward in a minute because we've got way too much superiority to muck around like this. Look, they're just routing. We're just supposed to pull back. You weren't in any actual danger at that moment, lads. You are now that you're routing. Absolute numpsies, right? I think it's time to just move forward. Perhaps without all of my missiles. Oh, infantry! Infantry! Infantry, charge forward. And we'll just, if we need to pick them off as we go, we will. But I don't know if these guys are going to stand around for very long. You know what? Some of them probably will. Some of them probably will stand there and get themselves murdered. So we'll just charge him. Lovely stuff. Get in there. Start bleeding their eyes out. In we go, in we go. Big pile, a big maelstrom of death and violence. We've got ourselves all the generals in the centre here. So, unfortunately, because our generals do actually wear all of this nonsense, I have no idea what's going on. But I do have a bit of flanking going on by the looks of it. That's very nice indeed. So you lads maybe just get into the back of them. That'll probably start to rout them. That's nice. That's the kind of thing I want to see. All my missiles, hopefully, we go over to fire. Use fire! Yes, flaming flames. That's good. And we'll just continue to press around the back. Here comes some reinforcements who bother to actually not rout this time. And the Jacket Warriors do tend to fight pretty much to the death, so we'll have to just pin them in behind. Now, this is a bit of an odd one at this point because it's been, well, strangely not aggressive, having mentioned how aggressive the AI normally is. But we are doing fairly well. A bit of a scrappy looking army, to be honest. Low generals, but aside from that, not an awful lot. These guys can just hold ground. Should probably start laying the fire into this kind of a direction. Same with this, really. Start shooting into the back of those chaps. The right flank did actually break, so the general has been sent back to come and help out all of our missile troop. And yeah, it looks like our centre kind of won out. They won on the flanks, and it's become a bit of a mess, really. But on the whole, we pretty much won the battle. It just almost got a bit messy in the middle there. The general has done a good job, however, of just about getting on top of all of this. He's very bravely thrown himself into the mix. Most of his men are now dead, but he's just about alive and hopefully isn't going to die now that I'm talking about him. My good general, you pull out of there. No need for you to die at this point. All missiles start shooting on the Aztec archers at the back. Apart from you lads, you might as well just continue shooting at them. We'll get the bodyguard over here. You can run off with those lads. At this point, it is just mopping up the kind of 4 or 5 men who are still bothering to fight. There's a couple over there, but that's essentially it. After a couple rather big victories, that one was at a fair cost now, wasn't it? But I suppose we did manage to keep our generals alive, and their job was really just to be a distraction and just to really hold the line between Veracruz. So, job done for the time being, although I'm not sure I fancy the second army if it turns up. In comes some attackers on my scout lads over here, and they're really going to pick on these two chaps, are they? Are they really? That's a bit harsh. But hey ho, I suppose these lads are going to die. Shame for him. But they did take out 2, so well done, my good sir. Brave, cruel and cunning. Oh, you sound perfect for the job. Isn't that just marvellous? And the Europeans have arrived, the English colonists. The English colonies even. So yes, here for a bit of the old monies. They're down here in the bottom corner of the map. And yeah, it's probably a good chance for us to slightly rejig the direction this guy is heading in. See the diplomat over there, or the English explorer as he is known. And we'll just start sending these lads in this direction. We have ourselves a couple of jaguars. You just go and sit with him in case you have to deal with anything anytime soon. A few traits being gained, mainly the lads who have just been involved in battle. Before I talk too much nonsense, let's just head into another quick battle because there's a little bit of early revenge in the turn here. We do need to take out this prince chap who took out our lovely 2 javelin throwers who were just scouting on the border here, and I think that was awfully rude of them. So with the take them out, the game doesn't fancy our chances because we are pretty much entirely archers, but it's fine, we'll shoot him down. It'll all be grand. And naturally the best tactic for this is just to send as many men as possible out to the flanks and hope that we can shoot him down. These lads are of course hiding as far as they are concerned. Let's get all of my missiles to not skirmish. You lads shoot into him, you lads shoot into him, you into him. Oh, we've got some rain, that's rather sad, isn't it? Well, it'll be a grim bloody death for this lad, and hopefully we'll be able to shoot him down before he does too much damage to us. But we do have a little bit of infantry to help us hold them off if that's indeed where we are going to have to be in this battle. Dog soldiers will of course do a little bit better than these native archers in the hand-to-hand combat. Let's just charge into these lads. There we go. Oh, I'm not sure they fancy their chances anymore. Zacatecas raiders have emerged from the grass. The finished patch of grass as if to show off just how brilliant they are at this whole hiding business. For a moment they looked like they were going to charge, hence I started running them in, but I've kind of just shot them down by myself, haven't I? Yeah, this aloof chap here is, he's not doing a very good job of not dying. There he goes. The last man to fall, but he took an awful lot of arrows before he did. Don't know about these reinforcements. Where are they? They're over there on the hill. We'll reorganise and we'll give them a poke too. This time there is a bit more of an engagement, but we'll be able to shoot many of them in the back, which is probably all for the better. We'll just make sure we get some shots into 1 or 2 of these chaps, but I think, yeah, they'll very soon break, and before too long, we'll have them entirely annihilated. They're certainly going to do a little bit of damage to this unit here or there, but no, I think this battle is as good as won. Marvellous stuff. Another heroic victory for the roster today. I wouldn't quite call that one heroic, but the game thinks it is, so I'll take it. And delightfully, 3 Zacatecas raiders have survived, so I'm going to send them over here to go and crouch and have a little spy on Tutupec, which looks fairly quiet right now, but probably yes, because this lad is in the middle of the field. They're also squaring up to us over here. We'll have to see what we want to do about all of this. We'll just give him a quick light poke. And anything going on in this part of the world we can't see anymore. Interesting indeed. Those lads will, I assume, want to take us on as soon as we get into battle. French still bumbling around, just keeping an eye on them, making sure I get all my watchtowers up. We're getting all of them along this coast here. It is just lovely being able to see. Plenty of armies. We can just start to squeeze them in. Once I'm happy we got the border secure, basically all these towns now are just full up of troops, and we know that they will be victorious if we have to ever take them on. So we'll get this lad on the boat. We'll keep on laying watchtowers around the eastern coast of our provinces as well, and that will be absolutely grand. To be honest, at this point, what do we have left to do? Well, we have the city here, and I'm not sure I fancy a full-on assault, to be honest. Do I? It's going to be a bit of a bloody affair. I'm not sure that we have enough infantry for that, but we are getting lots of infantry to join up. As you can see here, plenty on their way. Pretty much permanently for the last 20 turns maybe. I've just had all of these towns just endlessly bleeding out troops after troops. I mean, look at this army, for example. Those are the infantrymen that we need. That's what we're looking for to finish off this campaign. They'll be joining in 1 or 2 of the battles. It'll be absolutely marvellous. Pontius indeed, the pointiest of all of the men. Although they're pretty much just clubs, of course. Nonetheless, we will take what we can get, I suppose. Now, as I say, the Spanish towns are where we're a little bit weak because there's only so many. Well, we've got plenty of troops because we've got all the Mayan forces that we well, planning to use against the Spanish, but never really needed. But yes, lack of reinforcement could become an issue. Hopefully will not. As I say, Desakenthos, the Wrathful, has done his job over here. He might as well now, well, after putting down a few important watchtowers, of course, head off in this direction just to go and make sure the English are dealt with. In case you've never really dealt with this, particularly on the game, this bridge here is pretty, well, they literally have to go across either of these two little, well, there is a pass there, but there's a bridge here. There's several places you can basically plug the English up, and they won't really use their boats once they've landed, and they're pretty much just dumped on the land at the start anyway. So yeah, if you're willing to give up a couple towns, you can pretty much just leave the English in the corner here. Now, we're not going to worry about them for a moment or two. We'll just try and gather what forces we can. Sadly, this town down here is fairly fresh and it doesn't really have a huge population or anything like that to actually get our recruits out. But in time, it will hopefully be able to serve us very well indeed. So as we wait to siege this one out, and over here we're just kind of holding ground, the real war for, well, the next few turns at least is over here, obviously, to go and deal with these towns. So I think it's time to head into the city over here. Should be a fairly simple job. We'll just make sure we don't lose too many infantry. The old wooden wall and this beautiful entrance here. It's been a while since we had to guard this old entrance. I love defending this entrance. It was really a key moment, I feel, in our campaign. But no, I don't think we're going to be quite so stupid. I think we should probably attack a slightly different entrance, and maybe we'll smash our way or climb up over on this side wall over here. So let's get ourselves set up. But it's nice to see this old wooden walled city once again. I had the time to split up my forces, and I've mainly got archers running in, not because they're terrible archers, actually quite a few of them have experience, but more because I've got so many in reserve. Meanwhile, I've got some troops over here who are just going to run straight through the gate, and they've left it entirely undefended. So there's a good chance what I'm going to do is basically just take the plaza and wait for them to... Yeah, they've got a few Kota priests on there who will stand for a little bit of time, but yes, it might be a case where these guys just distract. Oh, they're already running. They're a bit worried about where this battle might be going, and them running around is kind of ideal because it just means they're not really in any real position to do anything useful at all. Unfortunately, those Kota priests have at least turned on the towers here, but I'm just going to move my infantry right up to the walls, and we'll hopefully shoot them down with our dog soldiers. A few arrows going over the top. They might survive for a little bit, but we'll hopefully in time chop them down. Archers on the walls just doing some work, but honestly they're just there to keep things busy and distracted. Hopefully they can just start shooting down these peasants. Down goes the gate, a beautiful sunset. The sun setting on the Aztec Empire, of course. And with that, oh yeah, I think we're just going to charge on in. Everyone run in and just take the plaza. Right, you guys all in there. Dog soldiers, likewise, you just come and support. We want you to do as much damage as possible. Get yourselves into that rear position. That's what we want to see. Good. Obviously, I've tried to do this in a hilariously wonky way, and it's very much backfired on me. Oh well, serves me right for trying to be a clever sausage. Nonetheless, I guess we'll just let all of our infantry die. Yep, they will sense their doom. But we'll just hold position at this point and just let the archers do their job from up here. Please just shoot them down. That'd be absolutely lovely. In the end, I suppose we have managed to do this with the scraps, and I'm not used any of my Eagle Warriors. That was kind of the idea. So I suppose job essentially done. Are there actually any more troops? There are not. So alas, ignore the lack of any subtlety or cleverness there. But hey ho, we kept the key troops alive, and I guess that's sort of the plan. However we did it, we have at least got the city. Time to sack that one, and we'll be ready to at least support the assault over here. We'll just have to see what is wandering off in that direction. There's actually a bridge to the north, so just need to be a little bit careful. Maybe we need to leave enough in the town here to make sure... Aha, okay. We can actually retrain a little bit, so I'll just retrain Actually, leave them. Get 2 Coyote Priests on the go. That would be absolutely marvellous. To be honest, these lads might be best suited as the guard for the city. And once we get a turn, maybe then we'll reorganise and send people off in that direction. Okay, I think at this point it might just be a case of ending our turn, but I'll just have a little look around, see if I've missed anything. Of course, we do have this battle over here to get on with, so we might as well go and do that. Big pile of peasants, so we might as well take out the rabble. Let's make it a night battle. Hopefully it will be visible enough on the old recording. Sometimes it can be an issue, but it is nice to train up some of your night fighters if you have them. So this is probably going to be fairly quick. Aside from 3 coyotes, there are pretty much only trash here. So in we go with our jaguars and our generals, and I think we're going to do a pretty bloody bit of business. Let's go. For once, it looks like sensible tactics might just beat over aggression for these lads. We're both sitting on hills opposite each other, and neither of us really wants to take up the valley. My hill isn't quite as big, but it doesn't really matter so long as they're the ones staying on their hill. So I guess we'll have to try a little jig around. We can always try the jig tactic. We'll do a bit of that, see if we can push them round the side of the hill. Not quite what I imagined, but they are just going to charge at us in this new position instead. So I guess we'll sort of take that, I suppose. Face each other out on the valley here. That suits me as well. They're a little bit up the hill, but if I can get a shot in on a few of them, then I'd take that, I suppose. They're just going to start sending archers forward. Okay, well, better just send a few men just to give them a poke. Just keep them moving. In fact, at this point, honestly, probably best that we just start moving all of our troops forward. I'm kind of happy at doing that. Let's just get aggressive here. I think we finally enticed them into some sort of action, and I think it's probably best that we just start charging, actually. So in we go. Just charge, 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 and charge again. Everyone just get in there, honestly. Also, this isn't much of a night battle by the looks of it, but I guess we'll take it. They are immediately just running away. Yeah, all archers, all you lads at the back here, just make sure you're starting to move a little bit further in this general direction, and I'm quite happy with how this is going in general. Leave the general out of that weird flank movement that he's currently going for. No need to worry about that. Those Aztec warriors can get themselves slaughtered, and the general, yeah, you can head back around. Come on, Manik, you can do your job. This lad, there's just all sorts of weird charging going on. It's just whatever unit I have to click on. They're all pretty much routed. So, yeah, this looks more like the battle I was expecting. There we go. That's the chaos I was looking forward to. Get on top of those lads, and that's pretty much it, really. Aside from 1 or 2 units that might come back. To be honest, we're kind of slightly better off if they do come back, because we'll be able to hack more of them down to their doom. So we should probably leave them if they are fleeing at this point, and just give them the opportunity to run, and they'll hopefully come back into the battle. So let's turn away, let's turn around for a moment, let them regroup, then we'll kill them again. This seems to be working. We've got 3 or 4 of the units back in this general direction, and hopefully, oh yeah, there come the rest of them. And now I have men in behind you, so that is absolutely marvellous. In fact, Manik himself is leading this absolutely insane counter move here. Not really in any of the books, but we're going for it anyway. These lads have cleared out that flank, which means that we will start swinging around in that position as well. Archers moving forward. Oh, they realise what they've done. They realise what they've done, and it's way too late, my good says. Way too late. General, keep on closing that trap. I think you've got him. I think you personally hacked down these lads. Well done. Widows and weeping is all that will remain, and I think I've heard that line before. Indeed, victory is ours, and we've managed to envelop fairly more efficiently than normal, although these guys have kind of left a gap, but you know, I still miss the search and destroy button. Obviously, I've recently done the Rome Total War Better Than You Think video. One of my earliest thoughts when I was playing Rome Total War was I really miss the search and destroy button on Age of Empires 2. Particularly just at the end of the game, you just want to get rid of the last unit there somewhere on the map. Just send everyone round on a big killing spree. I kind of, there's times I just wish I could do that on this game. I suppose there is the automate button somewhere. Where's the automate number? Yeah, here we are. Put you under AI assistance. Don't know why I can't do that right now. Maybe it's because of the group. Oh, yes, it's because it's the whole group, perhaps. Yeah, just everyone do what you want. It's not quite the same, because these guys are just going to be stupid now, but it's something like that. Another clear victory. It's not allowed to be heroic because we were just too good, but that is still a pretty darn efficient victory. Another day, another victory for Manik. Indeed, he does keep on marching ever onwards. And, oh yes, he's got himself a nice long list of traits right now. Up to 7 command. Not the worst in the world. I'm a little bit wary that I don't know entirely what's in this big cloud of doom. So let's just hang here for a moment and just make sure we've got whatever reinforcements heading their way. Let's... do we have a spare few men? Yeah, there's like 10 of these lads hanging around. Okay, what is there around the old Michigan as far as I'm concerned? That's what we're going to call it. And, okay, here's the last town. Here's the mysterious town we couldn't see before. There seems to be a half stack around. Okay, he's probably fairly safe then to move on to the town. Let's move on to the town. There might well be some more hidden armies, but we're going to give it a go. Manik, I have faith in you, so you'll probably be able to do it. Let's end our turn. We're pretty much near the end game now. Sadly, some of my scouts are going to get themselves picked off this lad. Really never stood a chance. And neither did this chap over here, but I just thought we might as well have some short-term vision. And it might just give us a little idea of what their armies are. Really helps if I actually bother looking. As ever, the native warriors kill 0, which is just what they always do, isn't it? We will just get this guy on building a watchtower before we do put him on the boats. Lovely stuff. Go dump myself over there. More watchtowers. Oh, this is just the best life. Can we land on this island? We can indeed. Oh, absolutely marvellous. We'll have another island in that part of the world. Now, I haven't seen the English just yet, but I will, for now, go and stand my troops that I do have over in this part of the world. Jaguars can get retrained down here, so I guess we'll send them in that direction. And you, sir, can probably build yourselves a tower, because if I remember rightly, they normally send some through the north and some down the south, but we will see how they decide to attack us in time. We are, though, getting some good troops over here. At the moment, just a pile of spearmen, but honestly, anything will do, I suppose. We'll just send them all off in this direction. That's absolutely lovely. You can continue just to murder these chaps. We'll just send a couple generals off to finish these guys off. Good. They didn't lose. Always a good chance when you do those auto resolves, but no, all is absolutely fine and dandy, like lemon shandy. And we'll head on to go and guard the bridge. That's looking mighty fine. We'll just send off those Coyote Priests as well, because they could do some very nice damage. We don't want with those guys. Don't know why I clicked on those useless fools. We'll have some Spear Throwers. Why not? They're pretty useless. Might as well have them as part of the cause. Nothing too interesting on the end-turn report, and sadly some of our forces did indeed melt away. So no retaliation over here, but we can see pretty much what's left of the Aztecs now. It looks like, unless someone's hiding around, which is always a possibility, there are some forests up here, it looks like we're fairly safe and sound overall. Now I wouldn't mind, I could use a small infantry force with a big pile of archers to guard this. Not that they have any infantry at all, but, well, we can use what we've got, I suppose, because at this point it looks like Manik has the south dealt with, doesn't it? So that's probably what we need to do. Grab those lads, merge what we've got, grab all of those archers, send them in to help. And some of these lads haven't really had much of a run out, so we'll give 6 of them. And we'll send them to go and help out. You can go guard that bridge. We'll pretty much leave no one in the town apart from those 11 chaps who want to hang around there. And we'll send them off with these lads. That's pretty much a full stack. And yeah, in time, we can't retrain those, but we'll get an aqueduct, try and prevent any more plagues. Don't really like the plagues. So we'll send these guys forward. These lads survived the end turn happily, so we'll send them off in this direction. Not much of an army, more of a reinforcement, more of a garrison really, for that short era of our campaign where we would just leave 100 archers in the towns. to your infantry, and it would just about manage to work. So interesting. Not too much more in this part of the world. This is a good army, though. This is a good army. Do I fancy them taking them on straight away? I tell you what, we will get the reinforcements one turn away, just to be safe. But this is a strong force that's pretty much going to win anything in the field. You know what? I'm actually happy enough to put that under siege. That'll be fine by me. 2 towers, 3 ladders, 1 ram. That's pretty much standard game at this point, and we'll continue to play under those rules. So we'll just continue sending people in that direction. English nowhere to be seen. The French, gosh knows what they're doing. But at the very least now, we do have our general who is now done building watchtowers, and he might as well join up with this army and start marching them off towards the Frenchies, because I'm now bored of waiting for them to come to me. So we will just plot these in that direction, and as he he might as well join up, and then you can one off over here and we'll catch the French in good time. Now I did have another general around here. Where are you? Yes, you're over here building all of the towers. Good. You can grab yourself another army and we'll head off to murder those chaps as well. So the French will meet a javelin field end before too long, and Altenha is just gathering some extra forces. Why there, you say? I have an idea that the English land here as well. Obviously this is modern Belize, which was part of the British Empire, basically the only part of any part of this really, Middle or South, well, not South America but Middle America, that was part of the British Empire, apart from many of the Caribbean islands, of course. But yes, this little chunk of Belize here, I'm sure there's something where they land here, much like the Spanish end up having random troops land all over the place. At the very least, though, they are going to be down there in Honduras at the start, so eventually when they emerge we'll be ready, hopefully, just about to deal with them. But as with ever with any of these kind of event-triggered armies, they do take a little bit of time to bumble around and work out what exactly it is they want to do. So what I might do, ooh, crossbow militia, how lovely. Don't actually want them. I did build the archery range just to see if I would get them. Indeed I can. What I actually wanted to do over here was get a few more pirate ships. Lovely. Just fill up some of the sea. It's a bit mysterious and dark over here, so I wouldn't mind put to sea just a little bit more. Of course, yes, he will build a watchtower here in time. Do not worry. I'm not a complete masochist. I do like a little bit of control and order. So, oh gosh, this is still endless troops leaving. It's amazing. How many turns? Do any of these actually still have anyone lined up? No, they're finally done. Bled them out. I don't think we need to get any more troops at this point, do we? Probably not. Okay, let's head into Totopek. I reckon Manik can finish off the job fairly simply here, and to be honest, let's just do it. Auto-resolve, night attack. Nothing too much to worry about. Victory! Yes! Placeholder text entered here. Take a victory sip. Don't know who those soldiers were. I haven't seen anyone like them. Maybe they're the fake Spaniards that we keep pretending to be. Yes, let's continue playing. It'd be very annoying if I had to finish there. I'd be pretty devastated, actually. But yes, we will continue. Didn't realise that would be the end, but Manik has indeed given us the victory right there. He's actually gone down to 6 command, which is interesting. Is that because that should have been... because that was a non-event? I don't know. We'll build this as a port. Nice to start getting some ports along the south here. And, oh... This is, I say it's the end days here, but it's pretty much the end days for these towns. But obviously the French and the English are really where we finish off this campaign. But I think we're essentially on an end turn kind of a situation. Although, Thomas, not quite yet. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the filth we all like to see in the morning, isn't it? Okay, let's get all of these lads together. All of you. Join up. We've got ourselves another 2 stacks here. One way or another, we have plenty to start marching on ever onwards. Yeah, you come over here as well. You 2 over here, and you as well. That's the last of the reinforcements that I've redirected south Fine, fine, fine. So let's sort out how we want this army. I like the Kota Priest and these guys. These guys are absolutely immense. They never break, basically. We'll send a couple of those lads for your Apache Braves. Oh, this is nearly the perfect army these days, isn't it? Zacatecas Raiders, let's have one of those because we're not really using them enough. Probably got too many infantry in this army now, but we'll have 4 of those archers. We don't have anything else. Ideally, I guess we'd use Conquistadors as the last unit. We do actually have one. We do actually have one. You know what? 2 of you guys can step out because we might as well have you in the second army. I'd like to have some of you to help support us. So we'll have 1 more archer and 1 more Conquistador to join this force. Oh, Pontius, you truly have yourself the glorious of the armies. And elsewhere, we can join some of these forces together. They're more than a whole army at this point. Okay, they're going to head over towards Tlaxcalan and take the capital. We'll continue to get reinforcements. We'll just sort of hold in this part of the world. We'll just stand in the forest in case we get the chance for an ambush, but I'm not too concerned about all of that. Probably best to get a bowyer, actually. You might, once we get the archery range, be able to get a few more crossbows, which is the only thing we get from the Spaniards. So you know what, on that note, I should probably be building those in all the towns. Probably should, you know. Probably get on that right about now. Upon ending the turn, the Aztecs are going to sally forth at Michlan over here, and they do have some reinforcements, so we do need to be just a little bit careful. It says 1-to-1, but the bar certainly doesn't represent that. Of course, we do have a pretty strong army here, full of Jaguar warriors and generals. They have a big pile of peasants who have some experience, but aren't much more of interest than that. General's a night fighter, but frankly not particularly interesting. Could be good one day, but he's going to be long dead before that. As a reinforcement, these do not have a general, but they do have plenty of decent units, so you need to be a little bit careful about those reinforcements, but I suspect we should be fine so long as, yeah, if we take out the leader, he's not even a good leader anyway, hopefully that will seal our path to victory. Let's head in, let's take him out. As you might well expect, we are going to face the first army front on. There's no need to do anything different to that. We actually have ourselves a very nice position here on a hill. Maybe slightly better over there, but frankly, I like the nice, clear, straight approach of this particular position. So Jaguar warriors up at the front and the generals in behind just to force them into a rout. I suspect we're in a very, very nice position indeed. I'm probably... Do you want them on fire? We probably will put them on fire very, very soon. Let's have the old ticking morale bomb going. So turn this up to nice and high for a moment. Yep, they're now going to come in. So let's just pause it up, get our charges in. Good and proper. So charge in, my good sirs. Charge, charge, charge. And hopefully we'll break them very quickly indeed, because they're not especially strong. And yeah, particularly if we start getting the bodyguards in to pile into their rear. Or just, you know, back us up a little bit. They were likely to get caught, but they didn't get caught. That's interesting. Okay, this unit has managed to get around the back. That's very nice indeed. And hopefully then we'll do some very nice damage. How are we doing, by the way? We've got the hill advantage. We've managed to charge into them as well. And we've managed to get a minor flank on both sides. No immediate break from anyone in particular, but I'm happy for us to slog this out just a little bit. How are we doing according to this? 11 to 12. Well, that includes reinforcements, so that's probably acceptable because it's just we're doing all right. Keep on pushing, my good sirs. A noble death for Primus. How deeply sad. I don't know which one that is, but he is now an dead man. But there comes the general charging into us. He's into around the same area as our general, actually, which is interesting. Let's start sealing up the trap, actually, because we've got a couple spare units around here. He might just... Oh, those peasants are perhaps going to get in the way of that. We'll just push those away. Make sure we finish the encirclement here. And into those lads. That should break them before very long indeed. They're holding surprisingly long so far in this battle. That's our leader. No, not Dear Zelamis. I love Dear Zelamis. He's done great work, but... Shameful. Shameful, he says. I don't think that's very shameful at all. He's done well. He literally, just as we broke them, just as we broke their forces and killed their general. It's a deep, deep shame. But I suppose it does mean that we need to... yeah, it's such a shame you can't actually see the names on here, although I probably should just know which one was the other chap. But yeah, this guy's Diazelmis, that's all I do know, because he's the main general, and that's thus the name I have learnt thus far. Get on top of these lads, please, break them. This side of the battlefield is entirely broken, and we've shredded them completely. So archers, can you just shoot into the rear, get off fire at this point? And to be honest, this should now be a nice ceiling of their defeat. But of course we did the reinforcements to take care of, and we have taken a fair few knocks. We obviously will be a little bit tired, and that does pose some small problems for us. So infantry. I think we should reorganise. For the second force, we have decided to throw ourselves up on the hill because they were coming slightly from this angle. It does mean that we are, fairly winded at this point. They are potentially on the more tired side as well. So in we go, bodyguards. Going to try and help us out on this early charge. Try and deal with all of those chaps. We might just actually want to start swinging this around. Do we? Probably not got time for any of that anymore. Okay, they're charging in at us, so we better start charging down the hill at them. We could well lose this. We'll have to see about all of that. And in the centre, send in the general. Send in Diazelmis' bodyguard. They must fall on their swords before the day is out. So they might as well go and win. That's probably a sensible alternative plan for them. So we should probably turn down to 2 because I feel like we're on 1. Or, no, sorry, down to 1 because we're on 2. I am very, very perceptive, as you, I'm sure, can tell. So, we'll try and push around the sides. They do follow old men. Yes, they're tired. I understand this. But, oh gosh, another noble death. It's a bloody, bloody end of day, this. Right, but we are starting to push around the flank on this particular side. Come on. These lads, get into the back of them. Get into the back. That should hopefully start to push them away. And my archer friends, just lay some fire. Where is a good thing? Let's just shoot the Dragon Warriors at the back there. Hopefully we'll just clip a few in front and hopefully avoid killing our own men. Who died this time? Solomon. Oh no! Not the biblical man. The biblical men are almost always our best generals. That's so sad. Oh well. We'll do what we can, I suppose. These 15 men are okay. You lads, start shooting these chaps. Start shooting them, and you start shooting them as well. We could do with you just to keep them where they are. Okay, we are struggling now. We are struggling, and we don't have the general horn to blow at this point. It is actually entirely equal. It's 58-59. Ugh. But we are having breaks, and that is going to be a big, big problem. We've got almost nothing on that side of the battlefield, which is not ideal. Okay, shoot into them. They just are not going to break because there's too many strong units for us to take on over here. We might actually be losing this. I think we might officially have lost. That's a big damn shame, but will we do enough damage? I don't know. I don't know, but we'll have some reinforcements coming. You know what? It's nice. It's nice to finally lose. We've been having too many victories recently. Too many victories. Now, I suspect, lads, it's probably a good idea to fight to death because you will be dead no matter what else happens here today. Last man to flee. Alas, he was the last, I think. Doesn't say I've lost, but it seems like I'm... Oh, he's fighting to the death, that's why. And down they go. Hacked away. It was very close for a moment there. 69% of them killed. Not a bad effort. Ah, Rescatame managed to die as well. So, there we go. Average defeat. It's been a while since we've had one of those. Maybe I just got a little bit cocky. Oh well, it is what it is. 5 generals dead, but we'll see where we stand in a minute. My little scout army is now getting poked as well, but as I say, there's a... we're back to the TNH little logo there. It's almost, not quite. Okay, so next time we need some vengeance on these lads over here. And though I will point out, there's something quite important that I've realised actually. Obviously earlier, yeah, there's all of the deaths. Obviously earlier we got the victory. We got the victory screen come up, but Yeah, we won't be able to continue if we take all the cities, even if France and England are alive. I believe that's how this works. If I have all the cities, the game will force me to quit, even if there are hordes floating around the field. So I've got to leave at least one of these alive while I finish off the French and the English. So perhaps next time maybe we need to throw a bit of the French and English into it as well. Maybe we need to kill most of this and leave just one town left. I don't quite know how we're going to deal with that old conundrum. However, we do have more armies here, and I think maybe Manik is the one who needs to do the job because we know he really truly is the general of heroes. Now, we'll get that lad to go and put it under siege. We've got this army over here. We will just leave those 17 chaps behind. We'll head on the road, and there are reinforcements coming in. So where can we get to? Well, I'll tell you what, we do need to fully stock this army. So before we head off, what else do we have? Not a lot, really, is there? No. Can we sneak? Yes, we can sneak that experience onto them, get some dog soldiers, and quite frankly, we don't have an awful lot left to hand over. 3 experience is probably for the best, so we'll take that. And then we'll just take whatever we got. 1 more of those. Okay, well, that should be interesting. Don't know why I went that way, but we're going to head over to Michlan and hopefully deal with that one very, very soon indeed. A dark day as 5 generals get wiped away. And it wasn't the worst army in the world, but beating both of them was just too much. It probably took too much damage in the first battle, and we didn't really manage to have enough of a rest. Took a little bit too long. Anyhow, pretty good place to leave it for today. The English are floating around. We have ourselves a stack or so ready to meet them. We'll have to see, where they wander off to. They could be problematic to us yet, but we shall see, I suppose. Jaguar warriors there, boosting that army up to nearly full. That's absolutely grand. Obviously, the French in the north, they're just bumbling around. We have huge armies on our way to meet them now. And as I say, the game will kick me out if I take all the cities, even if those big forces of the French and the English are still floating around on the battle map. So we need to be careful about that. But I think we have seen that it is Manik who is going to be the hero of this campaign. Manik of the Anarchy. It's somehow a very, very fitting name indeed. So hopefully you'll join me for that next time. I'm Thomas, this is Nerds to Human, and this has been a Medieval 2 American Rebels campaign. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Let us have a moment for Domino then, a giant of a commander who, frankly, I completely let down. Here! Yes! That was so good! We'll shoot them as they land. Ow! No, we're fine. Everything is fine. Panic over. It's only a horde of Vikings. It's not actually a problem.